aspiring golfers. So today we're going to talk a little bit about a shot that gives a lot of you trouble, I know, because I get a lot of questions, and that is the less than full distance wedge swing. So we're talking anywhere, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards, maybe even a touch farther. Anything that's kind of in that no man's land, which is inside of your full swing with a sand wedge or a lob wedge. So less than a full swing is what we're talking about here. And I just want to give you a few easy tips to remember when you're out there practicing. You'll see our practice facility is even kind of set up, geared around these shots, because the layout of the Quarry really helps you showcase this shot. In other words, you'll have a lot of these short intermediate distance wedges if you put your tee ball in play. So what I want to focus on today is just some easy thoughts for you to think about. My preference is always to try to feel this shot and a little bit in terms of kind of reverse engineering it. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Reverse engineering it is kind of a good way to feel of where I want to finish here in my follow-through position for these shots, and letting that feeling or that position help to dictate how my body moves through the ball. So the biggest thing that we see is players kind of freeze over this shot, to be honest. They stop using their body, both going back or going through, because they're trying to have less power on the shot. They're trying to hit it a shorter distance. And as a result of that, they pretty much just start using just their arms and their wrists, right? So if that sounds like you, this would be a good way, I think, for you to implement this into your practice, okay? Super simple. So at address, I'm sure everybody's heard this kind of analogy or example before, where when we're starting out at address, we're gonna kind of make this triangle here between our arms and the club, all right? A little bit of kind of forward lean on the golf club there, all right? The big goal for this reverse engineering follow through is gonna be, I wanna feel like I can take this and just rotate my body to face the target. So an easy way to think about that is kind of keying on your right shoulder. So you'll do your setup, hands a little bit forward, kind of making this triangle here with your arms and with your hands. And then how I'm gonna move this club through the ball is gonna be just that my right shoulder is moving forward, and I'm gonna try to move it to the point where it finishes over the top of my front foot, or maybe just inside, like on the inside heel, all right? But again, the big reason for this is I want to feel like my chest and my shoulders are turning a bit to help support this club through my shot, instead of no body, all wrists and all arms, okay? So we'll do some practice swings first, and it's easy practice, easy way to put this into your swing. Again, you're just doing the setup part first. Now you're gonna do this tilted over to the ground and just practice making these practice swings from your original setup. So again, no backswing here, really just focusing on how you're gonna move the shoulders, how you're gonna move the front of your body from facing towards the ball at your setup to moving towards where you're trying to hit this shot, okay? So we're gonna go over a couple swings on this. I'm gonna show you a couple different ways you can implement this in your practice, but by far and away, we're gonna try to take out a lot of the extra elbow motion and just arm swinging motion, and try to replace it with turning your body on both sides of the ball. All right, I hope this helps. All right, so the way we're gonna put this together, now we're gonna start adding a little bit of the backswing here. And again, we don't need a full backswing if we're only gonna hit a partial or less than full distance swing, okay? We don't need the full backswing, but we do need to still have some turn of our body, okay? So it's not gonna feel like it's just these arms and hands moving back and forth. So let's start this out. We're gonna set this triangle that we talked about here up at address, and we'll make a few practice swings just inside your ball first. And the way this is gonna go is it's gonna feel like what's taking your arms and taking that triangle back a bit more is gonna be a little bit of pivot in your body, okay? You might feel like a little bit of wrist set in there, and that's okay too, especially if it's your right wrist, all right? A little bit of pivot in your body, and then you're gonna practice turning that forward to face the target, okay? So just start off with some easy ones like this. Short distances, again, maybe this might be 40 yards. I'll do my setup part here first, maybe even make a little practice swing above the ball of what I'm trying to feel through that shot, and then just try to brush this ball off the ground toward the target. So note the follow through here. My shoulders forward and my arms are still extended a bit more. In other words, they're not pulled in. My wrists and arms haven't done this through the ball. You could even get a good visual for it if I kind of turn this way facing the camera. As I'm making this swing, it's gonna feel like the front of my body is what's taking this club and my arms around me. So I practice that follow through part. There, my hands and my arms track around my body before I go into my follow through, okay? Instead of stopping the body, using all the hands and the arms to try to hit the shot, all right? Try this a little bit out on the practice range before you take it on the course, but I know this will help you with your wedge play. Good luck out there.